You are all welcome. So as you are coming in, you can just try to put in your name and the name of your school and the state where you are joining us from. Yes, let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. Community Secondary School, Akwa Ibom. Thank you from Abuja. Peace Potter. All right. Thank you. Joining from Lagos. Thank you. Thank you. Let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. Let us keep joining. So we are starting on the dot of 8 p.m. We are going to start. Thank you, David joining us from Minor, Ephraim joining us from Benue State, Yanuga joining us from Abeokuta, a geography teacher. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you. Geraldine joining us from Enugu, from Surulere. Sunday joining us from Surulere. Thank you all. Thank you all. Let's keep joining and let us invite our friends to join. Let's keep joining. Let's keep joining. In the studio with us, we have the current champion of the Maltina Teachers of the Year, Miss Yusuf Sarah. While waiting for others, facilitator to join us. Thank you, Mr. Olusheye, for joining us from the Maltina Teachers of the Year. One of
Thank
the
you.
organizers. It's a great pleasure joining us tonight. We are glad to tell you that our participants are fully ready to get what it takes to become the next champion for the Maltina Teachers of the Year.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is exactly 8:02 from my own end here, and we were glad we all made it here, joining this program at this hour. While waiting for our moderator, let me just try to stand in for the moderator because we have our special guest in the studio right here with us. So we have our special guest in the studio here with us. Thank you for registering for the Maltina Teachers of the Year Application Masterclass. And we are delighted to, welcome all of you to this training designed to equip all our outstanding secondary school teachers in the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this practical knowledge, strategies, and confidence needed to submit a strong and competitive application for the Maltina Teachers of the Year 2026. Of course, we know what is available this time around. And of course, like I said, during this period, we are going to learn how to complete every sections of this application successfully, how to write a compelling impact story that stand out, and how to organize a supporting evidence that require documents, some of the common mistakes to avoid during this application process, and also some of the winning strategy, especially what you are going to learn from the past state champion, past top 10 finalists, and of course, the current Maltina Teachers of the Year, Mrs. Yusuf Sarah, as we have it here. Of course, we know what is ahead of us this year. This year competition offers exceptional reward, and we really want to appreciate the Nigerian Beauty Felix Oyiwere Education Trust Fund for putting this together for outstanding teacher in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Of course, Honda HRV for the overall winner, 10 million naira cash for the overall winner, and 30 million school project for the overall winner. And of course, even if you don't win, if you come to the first runner up, you are going home with 5 million naira. And of course, the second runner-up will be going home with 3 million naira, and every state champion will as well be going home with 1 million naira cash prize, coupled with other opportunity, that is available for you once you get into that place. So, without wasting much of our time, Mr. Olusheye sir, we have our outstanding teachers joining us across the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And of course, in the studio with me, I also have the current Maltina Teachers of the Year. So while waiting for other facilitators to join us, I want the current champion to introduce herself while we move on to the program of the day. Over to you, Miss Yusuf Sarah.
Okay, Kenny, thank you so very much, sir. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to everyone.
Evening, go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead, ma.
Okay, you can hear me. All right. Thank you so very much, everyone. And I really appreciate my fellow facilitators of this very masterclass tonight. Thank you for honoring me. I take delight in the workshop today and the training that will be taking place today to ensure that the participants for the 2026 Maltina Teacher of the Year gets it right. And I also want to appreciate the Nigerian Breweries Felix Ohire's Education Trust Fund through the Maltina Teacher of the Year initiative for the opportunity, for the support, for the recognition, and for everything that they continue to do for teachers in Nigeria. And today, I really want to also appreciate the teachers across Nigeria who has taken their time out to be part of this. And I tell you, at the end of the day, you will not regret. Rather, you'll be grateful that you participate in today's masterclass. So when I come on board again, I will talk more. Thank you so much for having me in the studio.
All right, thank you very much. That is the current champion of the current winner of the Maltina Teachers of the Year, Miss Yusuf Sarah. We really want to appreciate you for all you have been doing. She has been on trying to make sure that she gets more teachers to apply for the Maltina Teachers of the Year. And we really want to appreciate other champions who has come together to put this together. Coupled with the first runner-up of the Maltina Teachers of the Year 2025, Miss Adiola. I think she's right here in the studio with us. So I'm going to hand over to her while waiting for her. We also have the second runner-up for the Maltina Teachers of the Year 2025. Mr. Shibuso is also here in the studio with us. So while waiting for our moderator to join, let me quickly call on Mr. Olusheye Olokun, who is the representative of the Maltina Teachers of the Year, to get a goodwill message from him and to also tell us what Maltina Teachers is all about. We know there are a lot of things ahead of us. Over to you, Mr. Olusheye.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Adewale. Please confirm you can hear me.
Clearly, we can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for having me. And I know there are a number of my colleagues who are also here. That shows how, passionate we are about this initiative. So it's a pleasure to be here. First, I would like to commend, the conveners of this very thoughtful, and not just very thoughtful, also very timely masterclass. We have just very few days to go to the end of call for entries. So I would say there's no better time to do this than now. The schools are closed. if I'm correct, and then few days to the end of call for entry. So it's just very timely and very thoughtful. So a very big thank you, and well done, to you. So maybe to set some context about the Maltina Teacher of the Year, and then I will leave the rest for the speakers to deal with. So Maltina Teacher of the Year is in its 12th edition this year. So over the course of 11 editions, we've awarded over 300 teachers. So Maltina Teacher of the Year is that one initiative, that looks beyond recognizing and rewarding just one winner. We try as our best, we aim to reach as many teachers as possible across the country. And, gone are the days where you say, oh, the reward of teachers is in heaven. It should be right here on earth. It should start from here, and then it can only be better going forward. So for this year, like Dr. Adewale had already dealt extensively with the prizes. So maybe just to add, that the under HRV, courtesy of our new partners from under, is valued at 41.5 million naira, and it comes with 5 years of free service. So maybe just to provide some context to that as well. And I think one other prize for the overall winner that Dr. Adewale didn't touch on is the capacity development training for the overall winner as well. So we had the first cohort training at the University of Manchester so several years ago. We had a second cohort training in Finland as well. And we are looking forward to the next training for the next set of winners. In my final words for tonight, basically, I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage everyone to apply. You never can tell when it's your time. There are winners in the past who got who were awarded, after their first attempt. There were others who were awarded after that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, in some instances, 8th attempts, before they landed it. So you just never can tell when it's your time. So I would really encourage you to apply, and also from an insider perspective, to give you that confidence that Maltina Teacher of the Year is one very credible initiative. It is designed as such, layers of assessments, layers of, multiple expert assessors, layers of controls across the different assessment stages. So please just rest assured that this is a very, very credible. You don't need to know anybody before you can win. And I know that our past winners on the call can testify to that. I think that will be all from my end, and I'll pass it right back to the moderator. So thank you for having us once again.
I thank you very much, Mr. Olusheye. That's the representative of the Maltina Teachers of the Year. And let me hand over the mic to the moderators of this evening, who is the first runner-up of the Maltina Teachers of the Year 2025 and the first female teacher to become the top 10 teachers in the world in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ms. Adeola Akinsulere, over to you. Please unmute your mic. Please unmute your mic.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you so much, Dr. Kaode, for the opportunity. And I'm really honored. And thank you, Mr. Olusheye, for joining us, even despite your busy schedule. I know that this is a great sacrifice. And honestly, we are really, really honored to have you with us this evening. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. We are very, very privileged, and we are grateful, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Kaode, can we continue from here, sir?
Yes, of course. The next thing on our program is to hear from some of our past winners who know what it takes to become a Maltina Teachers of the Year, the kind of presidential treatment you get. And of course, while waiting for them, we have Ms. Yusuf Sarah is also here. Yourself is here. Can we hear from you? What is Maltina Teachers all about? And before you winning the award, what has been the experience even after winning the award? Let me start from Miss Adiola Akisulere.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Adewale. Okay. Thank you for putting me on the spot because I was not even expecting that. But it's fine. I would say that last year was the fourth time of applying. Like Mr. Lucia said, it's possible for you to have applied a multiple time. And some could be lucky just once they'll just get in. And also, like he said, you don't need to know anybody. I've interacted with a couple of teachers to encourage them to apply for Maltina Teacher of the Year here in my state, Lagos State. And some people have said, no, people, most of the time, it's people that they know. By God's grace, I am the first runner-up Maltina Teacher of the Year, and I don't know anybody in Nigerian breweries. I don't know anybody I don't know anybody. I only know God, and I submitted my application. And like I said, that was my fourth time of applying. I've applied before then. However, what made the difference? Yes, the God factor is there. However, I had my friend, somebody like Dr. Adewale Kayode was somebody that mentored me, read my application. Bumi and Nani helped me to proofread my application. Stella did a lot, back and front, go and correct this, bring it back, like that. Even Mr. Dakoken did too. So, and that is why we are putting this together. For somebody like me, I am a testimony of support, left, right, center, from the north, from I had people supporting me from the north, from the east, from the south, southwest. I think I had somebody from the south, yes. So, and even my friends too, here in the west. So like I got here, got there, I put everything together. Because there are sometimes that even when you're doing so much, you might not really know how to really present what you're doing. And when you really cannot present what you're doing so much, but you cannot really tell your story in a way that will be captivating to people that will listen. Probably you're not even putting the most important thing forward. You know, that might affect your being selected. But this program that we're having tonight is just to guide you. You're doing so much, but you're not yet out there to guide you. How do you put your applications together? What are the things that are necessary? What are the things? Probably you have been submitting the same application like year in, year out. We are here to guide you. Even after now, I'm sure that it's not going to end here. You can reach out to us, and I think we are still going to have a community, a WhatsApp community where you're free to reach out. I would be willing to read your application to guide you, and I'm sure Miss Sarah too will also be willing, even though we have this busy schedule, but we'll be willing to do that for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That is the first runner-up Maltina Teachers of the Year 2025. Also, the first female teacher to become top 10 teachers for the Global Teacher Prize, Miss Adiola Akisulere. Of course, we also want to hear from one of the past winner. Who is the current champion, current winner of the Maltina Teachers of the Year? Of course, when you see her, I'm sure what she used to be in the past has already changed. So over to you, Ms.
Yes.
Yusuf Sarah. Let's hear the testimony about Maltina Teachers of the Year from you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I am very grateful. Once again, thank you for having me in the studio. Well, the journey to the success of becoming the Maltina Teacher of the Year, it wasn't a very easy one. But I can tell you for free that what kept me going, what made me to emerge is nothing else but dedication to work, resilient, and ultimately grace. Like Mr. Shea said earlier, I would like to greet Mr. Shea again. Good evening, sir, and thank you for being with us. Like he said earlier, he said, you don't need to know anybody, you don't need to do too much, just be you. Okay, I decided to be me, not even knowing that it will count. Coming from, considering where I hail from, where I work in a slum community, the underserved community, giving grace to young minds. And I tell you that I've been like putting my all. And I will tell you that the application that earned me this award, it was my first time of applying for it. So I applied for the Maltina Teacher of the Year for the first time, and very surprisingly, I emerged as the winner. It didn't just happen, and it wasn't all about the award. But what really matters is who you've been before the opportunity unfolded itself for you. Who have you been, or what have you been doing? What is your essence? Can someone talk about your essence? Are you really true to what you do as a teacher? Do you really give your best that you can really beat your chest to it and say that I've been giving my all to this? You've been giving your all to this not because of the awards or recognition, but because you love it. It's just what you love doing. That has been my story. So seeing me with the students, I see the learners beyond student and teacher relationship. I begin to see them more like my siblings. I begin to see them more like family. So it was easy for me to give my best. And in giving my best, Dr. Kayode has been my mentor. He kept pushing me, saying that the Teacher of the Year is here. Apply. I said, where do I even start from? He said, I should just apply because I see the things you do. I see how you work with these learners. I see how you give grace to them. So apply. And I believe most of the things you do, the initiatives that I do within the slum community can be recognized. So I applied for it, and here I am. And I tell you that if you keep giving grace to the young minds from your heart, if you keep seeing these students very well, a day will come, opportunity like this will open up, and you will tell your story that this is all I've been doing with my students. And an organization like Maltina Teacher of the Year will see you, recognize you, put you in that spotlight. So never stop doing what you believe in. That has been my story. And I will never speak without showing you this. What has been my background, I don't know if you would see, is written grace. And aside the grace, you shouldn't give up on yourself, and you should keep working hard, doing something different, and it will set you up there differently for recognition and to be celebrated. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chibuzo, you need to unmute yourself, please. If you can hear us, you need to unmute yourself. You are okay. You're muted now. You just speak. Go ahead and speak. Oh, Mr. Chibuzo, I think there's a problem. We can't hear you.
Okay, let me use another. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. On the other device that you just joined with.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Chibuzo, a deeper life high school educator, and it's been a wonderful time having to share our experience. I hope I'm being heard, right?
Yes, positive, sir.
Pardon?
Positive. We can hear you 100%.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Well, I first applied for the Maltina Teacher of the Year award way back 2017 in Rivers State. Then I was in Rivers State, and that was the first time I applied. And by God's help, I think I was the best in Rivers State at that time, 2019. Then there was a lull, a kind of break till 2025 when I had to apply again. And just as Sarah said, grace. Because none of us merit this thing, or do you merit it? It's not by merit, it's by grace. I came third position in the country. And I want to just give an insight into what it takes to be a champion. First, what have you been doing? Have you been rendering quality service? That is one. Then two, when you are applying for the Maltina Teacher of the Year award, everything counts. Everything counts. Most times, the difference between you and the next person may just be 1 mark. So all that you've been doing, attach everything and send across. So here now, I want to go straight to the biographic information. The first is your name. Of course, you should know your name. That should not be an issue. Then the next one there is your date of birth. It must tally with all your documents. All right. Then the next one is your state of origin, just your states, maybe Abia, Imo, Adamawa. Just put your state, then your email, then your phone number, your school address, because oftentimes they may want to verify your claims or your, oftentimes you see people, they want to win they've heard about 3 million naira they want to win, and they want to win through the back door. So put your school address so that if they want to verify, they can do that. And then the next one, please, can you return that form again? Okay, your residential address. Number 8, your educational and professional qualifications. You list them. Mind you, you must not be a PhD holder to win the Maltina Teacher of the Year award. Just the fact that you're an educator, you're a teacher. Number 9 is your Teachers Registration Council number. Please, it's not, you must be meticulous with that number, because they verify and they ensure that only teachers are applying. Number 10 is teaching experience. How long have you been teaching at the secondary school level? And maybe 10, 5, as the case may be. Then number 11 is the subjects you teach. You see, sometimes teachers teach more than one subject. Let's assume you teach government, history, civic education. Write it there. Classes you teach, also write it there. Do you have any criminal record? If you have, say yes. If none, say no. Number 14, if answer to number 13 is yes, describe the nature. Then number 15, list all the teaching and professional awards and recognition you have received within the year 2023 to 2025. At this juncture, I want to mention that you must not have won a lot of awards to qualify for the Maltina Teacher of the Year award. Just what you've been doing. And if I've won any award, also list it there and show evidence, because the team, as the team of professors or verifiers, they want to see evidence. Evidence is very, very important if you must at least qualify for the state award. Thank you. I hand over to my anchor person.
All right. Thank you, sir, Mr. Chibuzo. So we'd like to move on from here. Uh, we're moving on to the second section, section 2. Okay. Okay, Dr. Duwale, can I have section 2? Or should I just read
All
from
right.
here?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm the one handling the next one we have now is providing your evidence. That's what we have next on the list, and that is where we
Okay.
are asked to scan, kindly scan and attach the following document to your application. And just like we have it, Ms. Adela, we don't know if you have anything you want to add to the demographic information. Do you have any other things you want to add to the demographic information, or Miss Sarah, before
No, sir.
moving on to?
It's
Okay.
perfect.
So, Miss, all right,
It's
Miss
okay,
Sarah.
sir. It's okay. Everything is
All right.
fine. He has done a great job there. We can move
Okay,
further.
thank you very much. So let's now move to where we'll be. We were asked to kindly scan and attach the following document to your application. Of course, telling them at this point, especially on demographic number 15, where you are asked to list all the teaching and professionals award and recognitions you have received within the 2023 and 2025. Evidence to be uploaded. So it means whatever you might have quoted on that number 15, you have to come to this particular section to make sure you attach the pictorial evidence of those things. So I'm still going to be doing that right from here. So one after the other.
And because
Yes, we can move to the next one. Then when he comes back, he would finish up with his own.
Okay. Because as it is, time is really not on our side again. Okay, so let me just quickly we'll move on to section 2A. Then Mr. Ra, you'll be taking section 2B thereafter. So we'll be talking about teaching philosophy. Let me quickly pull that up. Teaching philosophy and approach. Yes. So we're going to be talking about teaching philosophy and approach. And the first thing is that we need to pay attention to our instruction. Somebody will always say, or we as teachers that we normally say that even instruction is part of examination. So it's important for you to follow instruction. Like I told us, I remember the very first Maltina award that I applied for. I did not attach a letter. The letter that was supposed to attach at the end of my application from my school, I didn't apply it. I remember the second one, and if you look at the instructions, so I think there's an instruction on what is expected. I think there was a particular instruction that I did not follow. So it was later that when I sat down with it, I discovered that, I didn't pay attention to this instruction. And now we have a new instruction for this year. And the instruction is that each answer, they've told us what the grading system, and maximum of 150 words. So please, for every of your words that you have, put it in Microsoft Word. Every of your essay, put it in Microsoft Word to check if you look below your the tax bar below to the extreme left now, you see the word count there. So it can tell you the number of words that you have there, and you can rewrite it. Then another thing that I quickly want to point out before we move on is that please do not use artificial intelligence. Don't let ChatGPT write for you. Don't use AI. Be natural, because even if AI helps you to write the essay, if you get saying your interview, you might not be able to measure up, because they're gonna ask you. They ask you questions that will put you on the spot. They will ask you questions from your application that you don't even know what you have written at one point or the other. So it's important for you to be honest. So the first question here, the section 2A is based on your teaching philosophy and approach. As a teacher, you should have his philosophy. What is guiding you? What is leading you? Why are you doing what you're doing? So for somebody like me, my own teaching philosophy is to create an engaging and inclusive learning environment where students can collaborate, learn from each other, and emerge as global citizens. And everything that I personally I am doing in my class is to for my students to emerge as global citizens. Let them any so what are the things? So the second part now, and they've already stated it there that in 2 or 3 sentences. So whatever you're going to write should not be more than 2 or 3 sentences. Thank God, Mrs. Miss Sarah is here. She's an English teacher. Uh, Me, I'm in science, so I don't speak much English. However, sentence is not something that is too much. So it should not be more than maybe it's maybe 30 words or something. So it's something that should be brief. And it's still something that you should be able to say because uh, they're going to ask you a question. Can we meet you? And when they ask you, can we meet you? Maybe the second round of the interview. I mean, the first round of the interview, which is like the second round of the whole process. So it's important for you to be able to say your teaching uh, philosophy. So let's move to the second approach. The second part of that question, which is how do you adapt your lesson for students with different learning ability? That's differentiated instruction. And differentiated instruction is the ability for you to be flexible. Of course, it's just like look at Miss Sarah, look at Miss Chibuzo. If the three of us were to be in a class, number one, and maybe you as a fashion designer, you are to sew a clothes for us. You're not going to sew the same size for us. Me, I'm a bit shorter. Then we have Miss Sarah. Then Mr. Chibuzo, which is a bit taller. Then even when we have to look at our shape, is different and the rest. So you are going to sew me a clothes that will fit me. At the same time, from the same material, you will sew Mr. Chibuzo his own clothes that will suit him and also for Miss Sarah. So in your teaching, in your classroom, how are you flexible enough to be able to carry all your students along? You know, there are sometimes that even students come to class, some of them are not even ready to learn. What are the things that you do? What are the approaches that you do to encourage your students to want to learn? Oh, do you just see a student or you just see, oh, I have just 40 minutes. I need to, oh my God, my battery is on. Okay. I have just 40 minutes. I need to wrap up this uh, lesson now. So you don't even care. You don't even care about your your students. So what are the things? What are the approaches that you bring in? Maybe hands-on that you incorporate into your lesson. Maybe collaborative learning that you incorporate into your classroom, group work, group presentation, and don't forget that your approach and there must be a blend with between your approach and your teaching philosophy because you your teaching philosophy is like the goal, is like the end. Then your approach is how you will achieve your teaching philosophy. So whatever you're doing in your classroom, my story will definitely be different from Mr. Chibuzo, will definitely be different from Miss Sarah Yusuf. All that she's doing is will definitely be different from what I am also doing in my own class. So please don't you follow AI if AI are giving you one word or whatever. No, don't do that. Be unique. Write, share your story, share your passion because at the end of the day, that is what the panel is going to connect with. Thank you. So we can move on to the B part of question B or question two. Miss
Okay,
Sarah,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Yes, ma'am. Okay, the section B talks about the teaching impact and student outcomes. So that is the fact that you taught your learners and what is the result at the end of the day? What is the student outcomes? So the question that is describe one measurable improvement your student achieved this academic year under your guidance, and then include evidence data if possible. That is what is there. So I'm going to be practical here so that I can use these to illustrate how it should be. Now, I will be, before I go on with that, I'd like every teacher in this masterclass to understand that we are trying to be more practical to give to you what I feel. Okay, let me personalize what I feel is obtainable, but at the end of the day, your approach to it might be different. So I'm sharing this as my perspective on how I believe the application form can be completed effectively. And I'll also walk you through an example, just the way I've pasted on the screen now, of how to answer this part B. Now, I would like you to feel free to adopt the ideas shared here in a way that can suit your own teaching experience, achievements, and also area of specialization. So I'll be responding to this question now, if you can see it, from the perspective of a literature and English teacher. So that is what I'm going to do. Now, this is how I would answer. Your own approach might be better off, but then let's use it as an example. So one measurable improvement my students achieved this academic year was in literature and English. So you need to state clearly which of the subjects you have this achievement, you have your learners have the achievement. And then again, you should know that this question, the measurable impact that you're going to describe here, first, it should talks about the academic impact directly before every other extracurricular activities can add up in a way, based on the way you put it, the nature of language you use in putting everything together. So it should be directly on the academic, particularly the subjects that you take. Okay, now look at my answer there. I say it was in literature and English. Particularly, this is when I am bringing the area that the learners did or improved amongst all others. Okay, amongst all other areas. I want to bold it so you can see. And I believe you can all hear me.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay, thank you. So particularly in literary appreciation and critical analysis of drama texts. This is the area my students have improved. Now, prior to this time, a diagnostic assessment showed that only 38% of you may not need to indicate the particular class, so you might just make it general, of my students could effectively analyze literary elements, okay? So meaning that you need to show in your form the area that they had weaknesses prior to this time. And after this time, you are also going to show us the area they have gained strength in this academic year. So to move on that, I said that to improve outcomes, definitely if you see that the 38% is very low, how do you improve on that? What do you do? So to improve on that, you are still describing, we're still on the question, describe one measurable improvement. Definitely before improvement, there should be something that must have been done. So to improve the outcomes, I employed guided textual analysis, collaborative learning, role play, digital tools, and many more that are here that you can add up based on your own experience. And that is that. Now, moving to the second paragraph, like I said, your own structure might be different from mine. Okay. Individual approaches differs. This is just like an example. Now, the second paragraph. By the end of the academic year, 83% of my students achieved credit level grades, as A's, B's, C's. Many of them begin to kind of improve over time. Now, and that is to say that it represents a 44 percentage point improvement. So meaning you have improved over time by 44%. Now, based on the school assessment, of course, based on the school, all these assessments, you get this information to answer this question based on the school's assessment records. So I want to answer this. Let me add this a little bit before I move to the next thing I'll say before I get done with this part. Now, beyond the examinations, this is where you can now bring a little bit of the things that have added up. Beyond the examinations, My student became more confident, participated actively in literary discussions, and emerged winners of the Nollywood African Child Drama Competition. Okay, here you can just link up any competition that you must have supported your learners to have won if need be. But the basic answer is the first one that I gave on the academics, on their academic performance. So inspiring greater academic excellence while strengthening their critical thinking. Now, like Mr. Kayode said earlier, and Mrs. Akinshilire, they said that you need, and also Mr. Chibuzo, he mentioned that you need to add pictorial evidence. So now I'm going to insert a pictorial evidence. Of course, we know that so many students in our classroom, they have exam or test scores, so you mustn't pick all of them. You might pick just one for you can pick the result of a student as an example. Number 4, under the B part, give a specific example of how you helped a struggling student improve and what steps did you take. So you're going to be doing 2 things here. The first thing you would do here is to give an example of a child who struggled, and you eventually help that child to improve. Now you have helped the child to improve. Now tell us, what are the steps that you take in improving that child? So I'm bringing another thing, another write-up to illustrate a write-up, of course, that I've worked on, write-up that I've worked on over time. So I will use it as an example to show you what can be done. Now, this is, let me unbold it. Okay. All right. So the answer can go like this. Like I said earlier, you mustn't indicate the particular class, and if you feel like to, fine. One of my literature in English students, because I say give a specific example of how you helped A, meaning one struggling student. So one of my literature in English students, you may not even indicate the subject again. You could just go straight and say, one of my students. All right. One of my students struggled with reading comprehension, literary analysis, and confidence. So these are the things my students struggled with. So they didn't mention, the question did not say you should be limited to a particular thing that the child struggled with. But if you want, you can limit your answer to a particular thing that your student struggled with. Maybe reading, right? Maybe reading, for instance. But I just mentioned 3 things here that my students struggled with. Okay, so this is my topic sentence as an answer or a response to the question. One of my students struggled with reading comprehension, literary analysis, and confidence. So you see that one of these things is practical. That is a literary analysis. All right, now let's move on. To support the learner, I took the following steps. Then I begin to mention. The first step I took is diagnostic assessment. How did I carry out this diagnostic assessment? There's no way you can start helping a child or a learner without doing what you call without make your findings, without taking time to check what are the issues that this learner is faced with. So you take that action first. So I identify the student specific gaps. That is one. The gap in what? Gap in literary analysis and comprehension before planning targeted interventions. All right, so you have discovered that this child has a specific gap in literary analysis. The child cannot analyze. You are going to apply all this I'm saying to your own area of specialization, either mathematics, what have you. Okay, and then comprehension. This child cannot read, and this child cannot even comprehend, and the child cannot do literary analysis. So these are the things I have discovered this is my diagnostic assessment. This is the first step I've taken. Now, what is the second step that I need to take? I need to take a guided textual analysis. Now that I've discovered that this child cannot analyze, I have to use any prescribed text, especially a text like Antony and Cleopatra. For the English teachers here, you know this text, very complex, a Shakespearean language, very complex, and archaic one. So this child cannot even understand it, talk more of reading it. Some of the words, you cannot even pronounce them. So how do I help this child? Okay, so I modeled how to identify themes and also characterization, then literary devices using prescribed text, many more. Then moving to the next one, I had to employ this step. I had to take this step. The step number 3 I've taken is one-on-one coaching. I have to bring the child very close if at all I want the child to improve. So I had to do one-on-one. So I provided targeted support, clarify difficult literary concepts, and even some registers that are very complex to pronounce. I had to start taking this child through the journey. Okay, and that as a teacher you need to do with intentions. You need to do that intentionally, else you'll get bored and you'll feel like giving up on such a child. Well, you need all the levels of patience you need to help this child improve. And the last step I've taken is regular formative assessment with personalized feedback. So I need to access this learner. Most of the times as teachers, we leave our assessment to the end of the class before we do that, which is wrong. We need to be accessing our students at every level to be sure that they are following and they understand the concept. So these are the steps that I've taken. Now, you can add any pictorial evidence of where you have been teaching this child or where you have done one-on-one class section that has led to the improvement of the child. So I'm going to add one pictorial evidence now. I'm adding a picture now. Okay, so I'm not using a real picture here. And do not forget what Mommy collaborator said, Mrs. Akinshilere. Do not use AI generated content. But for the purpose of what have you, since this is just an illustration or an example, I am free to use any picture at all. So this is this is me as a teacher, and this is my learner, and this is how I show this learner things, some register, some words, some Shakespearean hard words that needs to be learned how to pronounce and how to understand the concept before moving forward. So you can show a picture like this. And if you have any link to any video where you mentor your students to improve at any level, you can also add the link